What is up, CCD fans? Welcome to another video. As you can tell from the title, in today's video we will be creating or trying to create one of the cleanest Honda engine bays on the internet. So the plan for this is going to be to close all the holes that is in the engine bay. If you guys know, these Hondas do have, for some or another odd reason, like a million holes in the engine bay, and we are going to close as many of them as possible. My thought process is going to be to close as many, and wherever we need a hole, we'll drill our own holes from there on going forward. So on top of closing all the holes in the engine bay, we will also be doing a wire tuck. I've never done it before in my whole entire life, so this is going to be an interesting one. But I'll show you guys once we are at the car. We are going to try and close all the holes where the stock wiring looms come through the bay and run our own wiring. We are going to redo the whole entire wiring since we're doing a motor swap. Okay, last week I managed to fill this, I don't know if you want to call it the radiator support, or the only holes we left was the two for the headlights and then the bonnet stands on both sides, and then this is for the grille. So other than that, we closed off everything. So the process for filling all these holes, what I'm doing is I'm using a flapper disc to sand it clean, and then once they're clean I weld them shut, and after that I use a flapper disc again to get them looking like this, and then after that we will use some body filler, fill them all up and then sand them down, so it'll be the best finish. Bear in mind, I don't have any welding experience prior to this. This is literally my first time, so I'm learning as I'm going along. Okay, so for those of you who are not following our other videos and just following the Honda, this is Mark's ABF 2-liter drag car, and he's busy building himself a 20 valve aspirated that is going to go in this car. So obviously the old ABF needs to find a new home. The old ABF needs to find itself a new home, and we thought, since everyone likes putting Honda motors into everything out there, we'll do it the other way around and trick them and do a VW motor in a Honda. This car has the record at Midway for the fastest front wheel drive aspirated, so that's going to be the motor that's going into the Honda. We just dropped it in now. There's still a lot of work to be done, but this is going to be a ripper. This motor made 135 kilowatt on a stingy dyno. It should see about 160, 165 kilowatts at high altitude, and that is what we are going to be putting in here. Okay, so going forward, we are going to have to make custom CVs, custom engine mounts, custom exhaust, custom intake. Literally everything is going to have to be custom on this. That's why I said it's going to be a long process going forward. I think the car will only be up and running next year, but let us know down in the comments what do you guys think of the idea of using a VW motor in a Honda chassis. That's why I said in the previous video the guys are gonna love us for this. I was actually sarcastic.
The next day.
Okay, so the bay is almost completely flushed. I have a couple of small things to do on this chassis leg still, and then the next project that I'm working on is to fill up these big holes on the firewall. So what I'm doing is I made a template, and now I'm gonna cut out a piece of steel from just a flat piece of steel, and then we're gonna make it fit precisely in that hole. We'll tack it in and then we'll weld it in. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is my template that I made, and there's the piece of steel. I just need to cut it a bit smaller still, but then we'll basically, what we'll do is we'll put this in that hole and then we'll weld it shut. So I'm gonna have to do 3 of them there, and then there's gonna be 1 over there, and like I said, I still have a few small odds and ends to tie up on the side of the chassis leg. I need to remove this plate, and then we'll be done with the flush, so we can start painting the bay. As you can see, our first plate is done, so we'll weld that in. That's just loosely fitted there. I have to make 1, 2, 3, 4 more of them. This took me quite a while, but now that I've got the hang of it, I should be able to do it a lot quicker. The sad part about this is you probably won't even be able to see that. It's just to prevent water and stuff going into the cabin. I am going to leave the battery and the fuse box in its stock location, just so we don't have a dead space here. That side is going to be the brake booster and the brake reservoir, so there won't be dead space either. I've contemplated on moving the battery to a different location and the fuse box into the cabin, but after giving it some thought, I don't want to sit with dead space here. This is not going to be a show car, so it's not going to be a full-on engine bay tuck. I just want it to look good. So we'll keep this stuff here and just blank off those holes, and I need to find a way to close that hole as well. Let me guide you guys through this. So this is a template that I made for this hole here. As you can see, it'll fit there. So I use this template and then I cut it out on a piece of sheet metal. So basically this is what it looks like at the moment. There's our template, and now from this I'll start cutting it with a grinding disc followed up by a flappy disc, and this is going to be the end product. So that's our first one that I just showed you guys. After 2 weeks, I think it was about 2 weeks, we are finally done flushing the bay. We got all the holes that we don't want anymore, we got them closed. So the only ones that is left at the moment is the headlight brackets, the bonnet stay, the grille, the engine mountings on both sides, and like I mentioned, the one for the fuse box and the battery box, which will keep in place. The wiring, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but the wiring will be running through the fenders. The front, for the fronts, we're only going to need wiring for the fan, the headlights and the hood. The other wiring will be for the motor, and we are going to build a tuck wiring harness for the bay. We also closed up this hole here because we won't be needing that anymore. I believe the shifter cables will be coming through there, so that will be utilized. And other than that, we've got everything flushed. The next step, which will be the next video, part 2 of flushing the engine bay, will be to use body filler on all of these to make sure that they are as smooth as we can possibly get them. Then we'll sand down the entire bay and paint it the same color as the car. With regards to the bonnet rubber, I got a new bonnet rubber, so we will have a fresh bonnet rubber, which was a massive score. I am extremely excited to see how this is going to turn out. I think this is definitely going to be one of the cleanest bays. Like I said, it's not a show and shine car, but I just wanted to take the time to make sure that we have a proper, neat and clean engine bay once we are done with the build. If you guys are enjoying the content, leave a like down below, drop a comment, let us know what you think of the build so far. The next video will be part 2, where, like I said, we will sand the bay and paint the bay. So stay tuned for part 2. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, bro, and reflect your passion.